Question of the day. We'll cut straight to the chase on this. What is your favorite of the Dice Tower Essentials line? Now, I'm not asking that because I'm supposed to or told to, but I've done several reviews on Dice Tower Essentials games, and they are some phenomenal games. Tom has an excellent job of picking out ones he knows are going to be winners. But Dice Tower Essentials games, what are your favorite? You've got things like Sheriff of Nottingham, you've got Four Gardens, and then today we're also talking about one of the classic of these. This would be from Arcane Wonders as well, but this is Onitama. But we're talking about the expansion to Onitama, the Light and Shadow expansion. Now, the game is dang near perfect already. Onitama is one of the most perfect abstract games. And it's partially because of the entire package, the Lex Luger, as it were, total package torture rack of what Onitama is. It is a solid two-player abstract game that replaces the feel. Obviously, people are going to like chess who like chess, but it replaces the feel of chess without playing for hours or without feeling like you're a complete moron when you get killed in 2 hits. That's really not how chess terminology is, but the point is, this game makes it where you get the same itch scratched. You can feel strategic and tactical. You get that really like, oh, I can't believe that worked, as well as some of the tightest mechanics of an abstract game I've ever seen. So that's Onitama. Now, in order to make a game that's already almost perfect better, what do you do? So let's take a look right now at the Light and Shadows, which involves ninjas. I've never seen anything add ninjas and go bad. Just saying. Except maybe Cabin in the Woods. Things did not end well there. Let's take a look. All right, so Onitama Light and Shadow, we have the original game over here. This expansion adds stuff. You do need the original to play Light and Shadow. So let's talk about what it does and what it adds. So you obviously have the same opening mechanism as you do in the original, which is, oh my gosh, like a puzzle apparently. Anyway, you open this up, and inside of here you notice that you have 2 new mats matching the main game's mats. So we'll talk about what those do in just a minute. There are 2 ninjas and then 4 lamps. You also get a screen, which also doubles as a reference card, which is pretty awesome. It tells you how to play the game in general, but also how to use them with the ninjas. So you will then have to place your ninja on the space on the left or right of the master, so here or here, just of the main board. Now then you're going to take the regular board game and set it up, and here's the difference. In Onitama, normally you have this kind of large display here with, and we'll sit it where you can see it kind of off to the side here. You have all 5, but in this version, when you're playing with the ninjas, you play with just 2 helpers, 2 assistants, and a master, and then your ninja will go on one of these spaces on the board. So as you see here, I'm going to put it in front of the screen, but you would normally have this behind the screen. This would be secret. Your ninja plays basically a hidden movement version of the game in which you are trying to take out, same way, the master. And the way this works is, as you move one of the characters using the normal method of movement, there are no new cards, by the way, there's no movement cards in this. What you can do then is when you move and trade the card out, you can then choose to move your ninja as well. When you move the ninja, they can't sit where a pawn is, they can't go anywhere else that you couldn't place them normally. But once you get them onto a spot, you could then say, the ninja can capture normal players as well, but in order to do that, you would have to reveal where you are on the main board. So I would say, okay, I'm here on this space now, and I'm capturing that character, and that would have to stay on the main board till the end of that round. Then you would have to be back over here in your secret spot. And the way that works is, the reason is you can ask, okay, I'm going to use one of my lanterns. Is the ninja in this row? Or you can pick a column in this column, vice versa, column, row. And they would have to say, yes, it's in that row or column. You can capture their ninja as well by, if you are, let's say this is where they're at and you move here, they would have to announce, yeah, you got me, you captured my ninja. The other thing you can do is you can use the ninja to capture a ninja, which means you announce where your ninja is and say, hey, I think you're standing there as well. Boom, you are standing there, we'll take you out. So it's just a hidden movement version of Onitama where you're still playing to capture either the master or the space here, but you're also trying to capture ninjas to put them off the board because it's an advantage to both of you. Now the other version of the game that comes in the expansion is a ninjas versus everyone else. The way this works is you set the game up the same way as normal for one player. The other player plays behind the screen and does the hidden movement the whole time. They're playing hidden on the board, and they get to use the lanterns to try to say, okay, is your ninja here? And then they can kind of deduce where you're moving based on the cards. The ninjas have to capture the master. This team could capture the space or both ninjas. The person who wins is obviously the one who captures both ninjas, or by moving the master into the temple arch, the ninjas have to capture the master. So that is Onitama Light and Shadow expansion. First and foremost, let's talk about the components, because you know what the original game looks like. Now, I wanted to mention this in the intro and I forgot, but what I do love about Onitama is the way the game looks. It's this cube, right? It's a cube shape, or vertical cube, whatever that's called, of a game. And I think that's really neat because, for one thing, it sets it apart. It doesn't take a weird shelf space. It can fit nicely on the shelf anywhere, but it's a presentation because you unroll it and then the whole game kind of comes out. You sit it out there, you play it. Beautiful pieces, nice looking, very easy rules. But this one does the same thing, but it adds a couple of extras. It adds the sideboards, it adds the reference cards, which I love, and it also adds those screens to play with the ninjas. And the ninjas are so cool because it's like chess meets Battleship. Basically, you have a secret movement on this board that you're moving around. You have to pay attention to, oh, is that my square? Did they get me? Oh, they got me. The ninjas add just enough of a change in the original mode that you really get this sense of, it's hard to explain. So first of all, again, they look amazing. Yes. Components are great. Ninjas look great. The only thing I wonder is, in the long run, because I think it's great, is it one of those things that is so cool, but it's not the original feel of the game? You know, the original feel is, I see everything that's about to happen. There's perfect information. I know which card you have. I know which card you can use. I know which card you can't use. I know what's coming to me. I know where you can move. The ninja adds just enough of a wrinkle of hidden information to where it makes me wonder if the purists are going to want to play with this expansion versus those who love the idea of the hidden movement, you know. And hear what I'm saying, that Onitama is its own thing. This little tweak really changes the math, because you now have a hidden role, or excuse me, you now have a hidden movement character, and so do they. You have to keep track of, did I land on their ninja, or, you know, am I using the lantern to see their ninja to capture it? Or did they land on mine? Am I accidentally putting my ninja somewhere that my pawn needs to go based on the cards that are there? So there's these little extra tweaks that come with having the ninjas that I don't know in the long run if people are going to instantly grab this up. I know I'm going to play it. I like the idea of the ninjas and I like the idea of the specialty, but I also know that I will also play without the ninjas. Now, that doesn't mean that this is a non-essential expansion. I think you really probably should get this anyway. But we're talking about the symmetrical mode, first of all. The other mode, where one person plays ninjas versus one person plays kind of the whole thing, now that's different. That is a cooler feel, because you are then kind of doing cat and mouse, where you are just playing all perfect information, they are just playing ninjas. That kind of thing is cool with the shadow or the light expansion, whichever one it is. But the point being, I really like this. I think it adds a lot to the game. I think it's an essential expansion, but I don't know if you're going to grab it every single time you say, oh, let's play a quick game of Onitama, only because Onitama is so perfect already. It's as close to a perfect abstract game as it gets, that adding to it is really a hard choice, because it doesn't need much else, but when you get the much else, it's really good. So all I'm trying to say in this, in long, drawn-out way, is that yes, it's a great expansion. It's a lot of fun having the ninjas in there, but I also love the original, and we'll play both versions, is what I'm trying to get at. So at the end of the day, must buy, yes. Must play, maybe not every single time. That's a nuance, but it's an important distinction to make, because the game is so good on its own. So Onitama Light and Shadow. I'm Bryan Drake here on the Dice Tower. Make sure to follow us on Twitter, Instagram, etc. at Dice Tower Bryan. Until next time, we'll see you.